Hey everyone, I'm Rommel Anacan, and I'm a motivational speaker, consultant, and entrepreneur. I started my company, The Relationship Difference, in 2011. And I got started when I did, kind of for an embarrassing reason. I got it because no one would hire me. You see, here's the story. My wife and I moved back to California after living in Colorado for 5 years. I applied at a bunch of different places, almost 100, and no one called me to do an interview. So I figured I've got to make money somehow, might as well start my business now. See, I'd known for years that I wanted to start a motivational speaking business. I was just hoping to have a couple more years of experience in the corporate world before starting my company. See, as a kid, I was always comfortable on a stage. I was always comfortable speaking to an audience. So it was only natural for me to want to be a speaker. As I said, I was just hoping to wait a little while before launching my business. But as I've discovered many times as an entrepreneur, sometimes life has other plans and you just have to be flexible enough to roll with it. So I launched my company in July of 2011. I got my first client and I was on my way. You want to take the time to create a solid business plan. In other words, you got to put some thought into it. One of the mistakes I made early on in my business was that I just assumed that if I opened up my website, had some social media pages, that people would find me and that I wouldn't need a plan, and I didn't have a very good plan. And my business really struggled when I got started. So you're going to need some kind of business plan to help you attract new customers, to figure out how to keep your existing customers. You're gonna have to figure out where your money is going to come from, especially in the early days of a business when you're gonna have more bills going out than income coming in. There are so many great resources that you can use in creating a business plan. So you can contact the Small Business Administration, your local Chamber of Commerce, or obviously you can just do an internet search and find the secrets of creating a good business plan. But my second piece of advice is to really focus on winning with people. I don't care how talented you are, how good that product is that you're going to sell, or how good of a service is that you are offering to people. You cannot succeed alone. You're going to need other people to succeed. Now, sometimes you're going to need just other people's wisdom and knowledge to help you in your business. Sometimes, honestly, you're going to need their money. And you're going to need them to invest in your business. You're going to need them to believe in you. Sometimes you're going to need partners and allies to help you get in business and stay in business. And no one wants to be in business with people they either do not like or do not respect. So no matter what business you're in, you're going to need to win with people. Focus on being the best person that you can be. Work on your people skills now. Develop great relationships now. Continue to broaden your friends, your network of friends. You never know when that one contact you meet will change the trajectory of your career in a positive and powerful way. I'd also encourage you to be mentored by someone at least 15 to 20 years older than you who has done what you'd like to do. You know, my career, my business really took off when I met with a mentor every week and I could ask him my questions and get answers from him. So I'd encourage you, look for someone that can mentor you and provide you with the wisdom and knowledge you need to be able to succeed in your business. The other thing you want to be willing to do is be willing to fail. The fact is, as a business owner, you're going to fail a lot. You're going to make some bad decisions. You're going to be the victim of bad timing or bad luck. Something that's just going to happen. But failure is also the fuel of businesses, right? So if you're always afraid of making the wrong decision, you may not make the one right decision that's actually going to propel your business to new heights. So be willing, be ready, and be prepared to fail early, fail often. Honestly, my ideas come from everywhere. So sometimes I get those ideas when watching a movie. Sometimes I get it when watching a YouTube video or reading a book or just hanging out with friends. And so I actually have a journal here that I use to write down ideas that come to my mind as I'm watching a movie or watching a TV show or hanging out with friends. And then I write those ideas in my notebook, and then I go back and I read that notebook again so that I don't forget them, and then I know which ideas that I want to run with in the future. Lastly, I just want to say, if you're thinking of starting your own business, I would highly encourage you to do that. Our country was founded on free enterprise, and we need good people just like you starting businesses that make the lives of people better. So if that's you, I highly encourage you to do it. We need you. Hi everyone, my name is Rommel Anacan and I'm a motivational speaker. I'm also a consultant, a strategist, a coach, and an entrepreneur. And I started my company, The Relationship Difference, in 2011. So, what does a motivational speaker do? In a nutshell, I get paid to talk, which is pretty cool. Now, I talk all around the country, at events all around the country, and also online. Now, here's what happens. Clients basically call me when they need someone to speak at a motivational event or to provide some kind of educational seminar during an event. Now, these types of events often have hundreds or even 1,000 people or more in the audience. During these large events, where I will often give a keynote talk or a keynote speech, I'll often talk about success or leadership or the secrets of winning with people because I'm really passionate about these topics. Now, what I love about these large speaking events is that they're really exciting because there are so many people in the room. You can literally feel the energy from all of the people in the room, and that energy gives me even more energy for me to be my best. Now, some events are smaller than that with not as many people, smaller groups of people. And these are often seminars or workshops where companies or organizations have contacted me to provide training to their people in a specific area, such as selling, customer service, or management. Now, what I love about these smaller events is that they really give me an opportunity to interact with the people that I'm speaking with. And so, they get to ask me questions, I get to provide specific answers for their situation. So there's an interaction that takes place in those smaller events that just can't happen when there's 1,000 people or so in the room. Now, what does my typical day as a motivational speaker look like? Now, the truth is, as an entrepreneur, I don't actually have a typical day because every day is a little bit different. But on the days when I'm speaking, this is normally what happens. You will generally find me in an airport or some kind of airplane flying somewhere to speak at an event. Now, some of the cities I've flown to and visited include Washington, D.C., Philadelphia. This one was fun. Elvis Presley's Graceland in Memphis, Tennessee, Atlantic City, Colorado, multiple cities in Texas, New Orleans, Las Vegas, always fun, Atlanta, and historical sites everywhere. So what I do is this. I usually fly in the day before. What I try to do is relax in my hotel room and get as much rest as I can so that I'm completely ready for the next day. It's amazing how much energy and effort a speaking engagement takes. Now, on the day of the event, what I do is I get to my room about 45 minutes to an hour beforehand, and we do all of the technical checks. So I'll make sure the microphones are working well. I'll make sure my computer's working well. I'll make sure that the screens are working well if we've got slides. I want to make sure that I know how the stage is set up and where the people are going to be sitting. Because again, I want to make sure that that event is really great for everyone there. And when it's time and the lights are on and the sound goes on, it's showtime. And as a motivational speaker, I like to think of myself as part educator, part teacher, part stand-up comedian, because I want to make sure that, of course, that people learn something from my talk, but I also need to keep them entertained because, as you know, it's not always easy to listen to someone talk. And so I've got to educate and entertain them at the same time. Then at the end of the event, basically it's back on another plane, and sometimes it's flying to another city for another speaking engagement, and sometimes that's flying right back home where I live here in Southern California. On days when I'm not traveling, you'll often find me here in my home office, working on several things like creating new talks and seminars, updating my existing material, filming promotional or educational videos, or doing a webinar. Now, one of the perks of being an entrepreneur is that I have the freedom to choose to do other things during the work day other than working on my business. So some days I'll just spend having fun with my family and enjoying the fact that the crowds are less crowded during the work day. Other days I'll spend volunteering as a member of the Civil Air Patrol, the U.S. Air Force Auxiliary, and other days are spent focused on my role as a pastor within my local church. Now, whatever it is I get to do, I am really grateful that I have the opportunity to make a living doing what I am passionate about. And my hope and prayer for you is that you get to do the same thing too.